killed my seedlings. Leave the frost fabric on. Why do you have it? They love you. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather, and I killed my seedlings. I have babied these seedlings for almost 10 weeks. I've been putting them outside during the day and putting them in our climate controlled shed at night. And all it takes is one night of forgetting for something like this to happen. And it happened to me. Now, these guys, because of what I had been doing, weren't super acclimated to the cold, and it took one 17-degree night, which honestly is pretty intense, especially when a plant is in a pot like this and its roots are relatively close to the edge of the pot. So I'm not surprised that they died, but I do have several plants that were better acclimated to freezes that I did cover during the super cold snap that we had recently, and I haven't uncovered them yet. I have peeked a little bit, but it's been a couple days, and I would guess that we'd know now because it's very warm outside. So here they are. My friend Mary told me that I could leave the frost fabric on until we got to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, tomorrow is 71 degrees, so let's pull this off and see what's underneath. Well, all right, so this looks better than I thought it would, which is great. I do have some questionable survivors down here. These are red cabbages. There's quite a lot of frost damage on these. That's what these, you know, dark, really they're light at this point, but these really thin papery bits. I don't know if that plant is really gonna survive, but what did the best out of everything I have planted out here is this hybrid broccoli. This is called the Green Magic hybrid broccoli, and I bought it because it's supposed to be heat tolerant, but a lot of the reviews also said that it's cold tolerant. And I can confirm that is true. Now there is a little bit of frost damage or freeze damage on some of these leaves, but it looks like the majority of them are gonna bounce back, which is great. Now I have some plants over here. These are mostly, if not all, the purple Sicily cauliflower. This one looks okay. Just a little bit of damage on the outer leaves. That one's dead, but I think that that one may bounce back. It looks better than the cabbage at least. So I killed my backup seedlings and the celery. I have such horrible luck with celery. This time it was because I babied it too much, I think, and then obviously forgot about them. But overall, I'd call this a win as far as trying to get the most plants that I could through all that freeze. Good morning, goats. I left the water trough hose running all night. I do that periodically, and it's not on purpose. Sometimes I will leave the water running on purpose in order to flush it out and clean it out, but this was not one of those times. Good morning, Chloe. Your wallow is all full now. I mean, it was already full from all the rain. What are you doing? Good morning. I was just looking last night in some of the local, classifieds, Craigslist, whatever, for some feeder pigs. So Chloe's getting friends really soon. I'm shopping around for them. I don't really have a specific want for any specific breeds. There was red wattle is the one that I've heard can be mean. So I've got that kind of on my do not want list, but also I really don't want something slow growing like American guinea hog or another cooney. The hope is to have sizable pigs to take to the butcher this fall. How are Mama's goats doing? Good morning, Willie. Hi, sir. Gotta do a baby count. We have 16 babies now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Woo, they're all doing well. These are Clover's babies. These guys are the youngest. How are you two? I'm over here having to hold back Winnie so I can get a decent shot of the babies. Winnie has been incredibly jealous of all of the babies. She just can't handle it. And what's hilarious, if we can get her next to one of the babies, is that she's really not that much bigger than them, but she's quite a bit older. Aren't you? I know. You just have so many needs. I talked about on a recent video that we prefer to dam raise our goat kids. I don't actually like when a goat is like super in your face. I want them to be goats, but I still want them to be handleable. So I prefer dam raising them where they get used to people and they can be catchable and absolutely lovable, but not like super in my face. Now, some of them, it's just their personality to be super in your face. And honestly, some of them, it's just their personality to be a little bit standoffish. And sometimes the standoffish can turn into skittishness. That's really not what I want for the goats that I sell or for the goats that I keep myself. If it's not something that I would keep, I don't really want to sell it. So we've got a situation. Let's see, this is Melee. This is one of the goats that I want to keep. And she's kind of wild. This is something that I really need to fix. Most of the goats, it's fine to just come down here and sit and just let them crawl all over me and love on them. But some of the goats, just that's not their personality to even try to come up to people and want to be social with them. So my husband helped me set something up last night. This is our milking area, and he put this panel in here so I can have a little bottle baby pen. Now the mess you see on that back wall, that comes from us hanging rabbit cages in here and having rabbits in here for a little while. This back panel is going to get replaced relatively soon, but for now I need this space because this is where I'm going to put at least 3 of the baby goats that were born during Kidding Palooza. For some reason, even though some of them are taking bottles quite well, they're still not coming out of their wildness entirely. They're still really skittish for me to catch them. And then once I have them, they'll take the bottle, but it's not like helping them be friendlier. And so I'm going to be pulling them at some point today and putting them in here. But I've got to get this cleaned out and ready for them. I did run out of fresh bedding, so I am gonna have to go get some of that, but this is the plan. They're gonna be in here for a little while. If I feel like they maybe could use some outside time when the grass really gets growing, I can let them out that door. But honestly, by about weaning time is when the grass is gonna really start growing again, and so they can probably just go back with the herd. So I'm not actually gonna move them until later tonight, but I'll show you the ones that I am planning on moving. So there's Melee, we talked about her already, and that is why. And then there's this polled buckskin doe that can see me coming. She's been taking bottles when I catch her. And then this buckskin doe as well. Because those girls are sold, and I don't want to sell someone a wild goat. I'm hoping that I don't have to pull Clover's babies. So we're gonna be petting them and sitting with them like we do. Oh, so sweet and toasty under this heat lamp. The heat lamp is totally not needed. I actually had this on last night. That was the first night that I had them out with the herd, and I wanted the babies to be able to see. I've read online that they can see better than humans can. Hi, baby. But it made me feel better to have the light on so that they wouldn't get separated from mama when they're this little. They're just a couple days old and still people friendly. So if we need to, we can move one or both of them over to the bottle pen, but I'd really love to leave them with Clover. Talia still has hard ligaments. Her udder still hasn't popped. You're okay. Something about that buckskin gene, I'll tell you. They're just a little flighty, huh, Bear? Don't get it. I'm a little worried I'll have to bottle feed her, but I will. I mean, I'll have a bottle pen already anyway. You are too sweet. Ruckus is down at my boot. You can't see him, but that's our other keeper buck down there, and I'm glad he's friendly. There's really nothing worse than an unruly, really any kind of goat, but to me, especially a buck goat, that you can't catch and handle and move around. Hi, Tor. Hullabaloo got up. How are ya? You be nice to these babies. Good girl. Oh, are you making a hole in that? It was too much crunching for my liking. What are you sniffing at? That is my elbow. Do you mind? He's still not sure. I'm not gonna do anything to your head. He wants to be in contact with me on his terms, but he's making progress. Good evening, goaties. We're gonna be putting some of the babies away tonight and letting them kind of get hungry overnight. I have tried several different methods of training babies to bottles. That's the military training. They're doing a very house-shaking training tonight. But the best way that I have found to train babies to a bottle, and advice that I've gotten from many others, is to make sure you just let them get hungry. So putting them away in the evening and then feeding them in the morning should do the trick. Now I'm gonna turn the water on. Don't let me forget that it's on. Oh, they love you.
I just smell different.
Someone asked if there's anything that you can't do, and yes. I told them you can't milk a goat.
Accurate. The whole thing?
Yep. Oh, good morning. Okay. Yeah, this is why you're in this situation. Oh, come here. Yeah, she's looking for it. She knows. Oh, goodness, good. You're good. This is the one that I could not get to take a bottle at all. So. all right. Thank goodness. It's so cute. Yeah. See, I'm not so bad. That loud goat, that's Breezy. Breezy is the only one who had a single in this group, and so she's the only one that is without a baby right now. And I do have to pull her. She's right here. I do have to pull her this morning and make sure her udder is all right. I might have to relieve some pressure. Okay, good girl. Melee, I swear to goodness. Come here. Nope. Good girl. There. You can find these charts and things online for how much to feed baby goats from a bottle, at what age or what weight. And I'll put that information right here on the screen. My friend Megan shared it with me. I think it's in one of the Facebook groups for raising goats. But when I've purchased baby goats in the past, or when I've pulled babies to feed them, it's later in life. They're usually a couple weeks old. And what I do is I just feed them until they stop, and then I'll give them a break, and then I'll put the bottle back in their mouth, and they'll get like a little top off, and then that's it for that feeding. They kind of take as much as they want. That's not always the answer, so the chart is there for reference, so you can at least know that they're getting enough. Well, wouldn't you know it? They're already coming around. They're like actually coming up to me. Imagine that, huh? Still skittish. Yeah, that's for sure. Hi, Breezy. Yeah. And then we're watching Talia closely. I thought that was a contraction. That's a poop. Yeah, she's good. Now, Breezy's not tight, and I have been milking her once a day along with a lot of my other goats. I haven't had to take any babies off. I do have some does that are in milk from fall time. I think I'm getting about a half gallon from them, but from the group as a whole, I'm getting anywhere from 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons every single day. So I have plenty of milk to feed these babies. And now that I've taken the babies off, I mean, we'll be getting more milk every day. So I want to keep Breezy on my afternoon milking schedule, which eventually will morph into a morning milking schedule when the heat of summer really comes on. So I'm just going to take off a little bit of milk now, and then I'll take out everything later. And I probably don't have to milk her tomorrow morning. We'll just have to see. I'll have to pay attention to her udder and make sure things are not getting too tight. There. That's good. And then she'll fill up a little bit more by later, and we'll be good to go, I think.